Welcome to Mini Unorganized Thought.
Mini as in more consumable length.
Yeah, maybe they should all be more mini. What's the mini version of a thought? Unorganized idea? Unorganized idea? What's like, you have a little like...
Brain fart.
It's
the opposite of a brain fart.
Unorganized brain fart. It's like you just have a little like brain scratch thing.
Brain scratch. Unorganized inkling.
Yeah, unorganized inkling.
Inklings, Splatoon, Nintendo.
Okay.
None of that is what we're talking about today.
We're not talking about any of that. We're just gonna do a little bit of a Clone Wars, like, you know, the new season. By the time this comes out, there'll be 3 episodes, but we've only seen the first 2 at this
we'll probably
point.
Speculate about what's gonna happen.
What has already happened.
What has happened and what's gonna So you'll be able to tell us if we were wrong.
Yeah.
It's kind of unfortunate, really.
Yeah.
But we can speculate about the rest of the season too.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. And so, you know, we talk a lot about Star Wars, but Star Wars just keeps popping these days. It's still relevant, my opinion.
Relevant, but is it good? Depends on what it is.
Yeah. And so
varies from medium to medium.
Yeah. And so, in my opinion,
that's pretty great.
Groba or Quaz? Grobe.
Is Quaz up there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But in my opinion, you know, the first episode was a little bit... What was it that we said about it? It was just kind of it was very Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But not really the part of Clone Wars that you kind of wanted out of the first episode. It was kind of... It in every way it was Clone Wars, but it was more like one of those episodes that... You kind of just
It was just another Clone Wars.
You know, it was just another episode of Clone Wars.
Which is an interesting feeling that they managed to...
Yeah, just give, immediately re-encapsulate.
But at the same time, and I mean, maybe it's... In this situation, this is the one time that I will say, maybe our hopes were just a bit too high, you know? Like, most of the time when it comes to TV series and movies and anything of the such, when people use the excuse... Oh, well, your expectations were too high. That's not a valid excuse.
Yeah, I shouldn't have to lower my expectations to
enjoy a film, especially when there's billions of dollars pumped into a TV show or film.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, in the first episode, the animation looked a little bit janky.
It looked kind of just like continuing off of season 6, and then the second episode
looked super
and it was like,
crisp.
Whoa!
Yeah. Mostly that big guy looked like the Team Fortress dude.
Yeah, we both had that.
We both had that exact thought.
I think I said it, and then you went, "That's what it is." You know?
Yeah, something like that. I think like you just beat me to it. Yeah. Because he just, the way his face moves, the way he's bigger, his animation was always a little bit janky. To me, the Wrecker.
Oh. You say always like you've known him for a long time.
Well, even in the crisper second episode, he looked a little bit janky.
Yeah, I think that is just from your brain drawing the comparison to the Team Fortress guy.
Yeah.
And it's just like you can't get past it, so you're always expecting it to look weird.
Yeah, exactly. I guess.
And after seeing,
you know,
after seeing the things that the internet's made that man do, you can't really see something that looks like him in a normal light.
Yeah, that's very true. But you know, plot wise, you know, it really seemed, you know, it seemed like just a regular Clone Wars episode through and through, and then a little bit of that Clone Wars spice right at the end there. So spoiler alert.
Yes.
For we haven't said anything spoilery yet. No. So if you're still here and you haven't seen it, get out of here. Go watch it.
Yeah. Go on,
and then come back. And hear what we have to say about it.
Bring friends.
Exactly.
Please.
And so the big revelation at the end, which is kind of a good talking point.
In episode 2.
Of episode
1 and 2.
Of episode 1, first of all, is that Rex learns that Echo could potentially be alive. Yeah. And... You know, when I first... As soon as Rex first brought it up when he was sitting in the barracks, I was like, oh well, Echo's alive. They wouldn't have said that
Yeah.
if Echo wasn't alive.
Yeah.
Like
In
some capacity. So it was my theory that Echo was just gonna be either like not enough of his body
Like
left
RoboCop.
to be, and he was sort of like that, but I imagined even less of his body
Yeah,
would
RoboCop
be, or
was just head and
yeah,
lungs.
or just his brain.
Yeah,
I thought
would be
I
that.
kind of thought maybe it was just going to be his brain.
Yeah.
But turns out Echo is in fact alive
As
and
we found out
seemingly
in episode
relatively well. You know, like he recognized Rex
all
right
things
away.
considered.
All things considered, he blew up, man.
Yeah.
Like he was in a ship
Which
that
is
exploded.
Because now Domino Squad every season.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And so, you know, some things just to touch on with this, like, Echo resurrection. You know, typically, you know, the resurrection of a character is a little bit, you know, it's risky. It's a risky thing to do.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can pull it off good, and sometimes it's just kind of, you know, we know that Filoni has a problem letting go of characters that he likes. Like, for example, Ahsoka Tano, like...
Why'd you say it so weird?
How do you say it? Tano? How did
You
I
just-
say it?
Ahsoka Tano.
Well,
You're trying to be like fancy.
well, sorry, Ahsoka Tano.
I don't know.
I didn't
How do you pronounce it?
I didn't realize I said it wrong.
No, it was just your inflection was weird.
Ahsoka Tano. Is that weird still?
No, that was normal. that
Okay.
time.
Jeez.
You just said it strange.
Yeah, but just that
You'll hear it.
Ahsoka Tano.
Just you said it weird that time.
Now you got me all
It's when you're
flustered.
breaking it. It's when
Ahsoka
you're-
Tano.
There you go.
Ahsoka Tano.
Now it's like one word.
Ahsoka
Stop
Tano.
saying it.
you messed me up. Okay, anyways, Ahsoka kind of keeps coming back throughout his things.
It's just kind of like
He
at first.
and Rex as well, even. You
Yeah.
know, like Rex came back in Rebels. So spoilers for Rebels as
Yeah,
well.
spoilers for Rebels
Spoilers-
and season 7, I guess. Rex isn't gonna die.
Yeah. And so spoilers for Clone Wars, Rebels,
Star Wars.
Star Wars. So like it seems to me that Filoni really likes his characters that he creates, and he can let them go, but in a meaningful way, and that's what I always thought Echo's death was.
No.
Well, it just
How meaningful.
well not that it was
Echo!
meaningful, but that it was powerful because
Yeah, I
it was
guess.
this.
It was
Just this heat of the moment war,
Yeah.
and all the time, like you never know what could happen to a clone,
Yeah.
like because they're just these soldiers doing their thing, and it's war.
Yeah.
And so at any point, even though Echo is like he's part of the family, he's been there this whole time, and even though he other than in like Rookies and
Yeah.
and those
You
ones,
don't expect him to go like a
he's-
red
yeah,
shirt.
exactly. He wasn't ever really like a super prominent character, but he was always there, and he was very important to fans and stuff.
Yeah.
And so for him to just explode, it's like, dang, like I almost like it in a way, because it's very like encompassing of war, I guess, that like he just explodes, and it really builds into the mentality of the clones and sort of the arc of the clones generally. It builds into Fives and Rex is where you really kind of see it, is that like they're still beings with like thought and feelings, and like war takes its toll on them. And that's always been a really cool thing to explore in the Clone Wars, because in the shows you don't really see it. They're just these mindless drones.
Yeah.
So they really humanize them in this, and to have one of their friends just explode as they would in war, I always thought that was like, I just thought it was a very good choice. And like as sad as it was and as awful as it was, I thought that was a good way to handle it. And so I had sort of mixed feelings when I heard that Echo was going to be coming back, and when in fact we do see him there alive, you know. Yeah.
I don't know what you want me to say.
Just agreement.
Yeah.
Disagreement.
I don't know. Yeah. No.
No, that's just solid thoughts.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you just went off on a big spree. I don't really have anything to say about it.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure I'm giving you your opportunity to talk as well. But yeah, I think that Yeah, so mixed feelings about the Echo return. I think that after this second episode, which I liked a bit more.
I wonder if he's gonna die.
Like, well,
you know, because I think that this clone arc is gonna be the first 3 episodes. You know, so I think this week, yesterday,
this is
for you guys.
So
will
this
be
is
the finale of it, but still not really, because Rex is gonna continue through this whole season. But the Echo arc, basically, I think will come to an end. So I'm wondering if maybe he'll live and do something, or maybe, like, it kind of seems like something I could see happening is he kind of is now like, I helped the Separatists so much, you know, and he's like, can't really forgive himself, and then does some sort of big blaze of glory to help to help the Republic, you know.
Yeah, it was kind of
and like a big send off.
Yeah,
you know, like I could see that it almost being like a retcon, you know, where like Filoni's like, so he got such a anticlimactic death the first time. Now he gets the full send off for the entire Domino squad.
Yeah,
you know,
could be.
Yeah, he's flying in the air and it goes through a memories montage
of all the Domino squad,
and Heavy's just like blowing stuff up, and then he's exploding, and then it's just.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, I could definitely see
musical sequence.
Yeah, I could definitely see him sort of giving him a like going back and doing him justice, I guess. Since it was sort of our prediction that he would just sort of be a brain, I thought that maybe Rex was gonna have to be sad and have to like destroy what remained of Echo because it was giving them all these plans. But now it's sort of my prediction that I don't think Echo's gonna live for like maybe not even through the next episode, because I think it's imperative it's imperative for Echo to die very quickly after the rescue, because Rex needs to be pushed over the edge to remove his chip, and I think Echo might tell Rex about the chip.
Yeah.
Because Rex doesn't fully know yet.
Like,
we don't know what he knows.
Yeah, it's true. We don't know what he's researched by himself. Like, we know that he definitely knows.
He knows something's going on, because like everything with Fives, I'm sure that has not.
Fives was like one of his best friends. So
exactly.
Like, he definitely knows something's up, but I think something will be revealed to him that's like, the jig is up, pal.
And I think that we have this like clone who has been hooked up to the Separatists' intelligence for however many years. So I think that Echo's going to, like, in their escape, be shot down or something, or, you know, just like start to go crazy and not be able to make it, and Rex will be so devastated, but Echo will be like, it's okay, just like cut the chip out of your head. And then that like information, coupled with the fact that like his friend was finally alive and then he just died again,
just to push him over
just to push him over the edge, and also have that information,
which kind of,
and I could see that being the reason that they brought Echo back.
Which that kind of goes into some of the speculation that I'm wondering, is because we know that this season we're gonna have the siege on Mandalore, but we know that Ahsoka's there, and we know that the 501st is there, but we don't know why any of them are there. So whether Ahsoka's just going to be there independently, no matter what, I think, but whether the 501st is there because of the Republic sending them, or they're there independently, I think will also be an interesting thing.
Yeah, you know? I think that what it is, this information exists because it's covered in the Ahsoka novel, but we didn't read that, and so we don't know exactly the intricacies of the situation, but I'm fairly certain that Obi-Wan and Anakin are both going to be on Mandalore at some point, and then they're going to get called back to go and save the Chancellor, and they're going to leave the 501st with Ahsoka.
That would make sense. I see it. That would make sense.
And so then...
Well, it's probably going to be Anakin's going to go straight from this base to there, to the Chancellor. Because you see in the first episode, you see him have his starfighters there. So.
Yeah. And so he's probably going to just Yeah, straight from Mandalore back to the outside of Coruscant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so one other thing that I thought was interesting was just that, and I don't know why I didn't put it together, is just that like when Anakin is talking to Padme, and that's another thing that we could quickly touch upon, is he says like these Outer Rim sieges are taking longer than we thought, and I was like, hey, the Outer Rim sieges, that is where they were, and so that just it all makes sense, you know, and as well, one of the good moments was Obi-Wan, yeah, like calling him out. I hope you at least said hello to Padme for me. And it's like, oh, and like Anakin didn't give him a smile or anything. He was just kind of like, like you can see the rift kind of growing between them.
Like when you watch the Clone Wars, it's just so evident that the Jedi know. Like there's a whole episode where he's troubled, and then Yoda sends Obi-Wan to go and talk to him, and he's like, "Hey man, you know, like you remember Satine, right? But I had to bottle that up, you know." And Anakin's just like, "Fine." And so Obi-Wan just absolutely knows, and so I think that is really interesting for them to tie into even the Kenobi series, because I think that'll add to his anguish and kind of regret, because now if he knew during the Clone Wars, and he can blame that for himself too, you know, because he's like, well, I should have stopped that, I should have stepped in, maybe if I had told the council that he was breaking the code, you know.
And that's kind of the thing, is like, as influenced by Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan kind of takes the code a little bit lightly as well, and you know, like, not to the extremes of Qui-Gon or Anakin, but he obviously knows that Anakin is in a relationship with Padme, and to some capacity, but I think he chooses to kind of not know, you know, like he knows it's going on, but he's just kind of like, I don't know that. There's nothing going on there, you know, and so like that's just it, like you say, that's another thing that when he's stewing in the desert for however many years,
19 years,
that'll just be yet another thing that haunts him. That like I just turned a blind eye because I didn't think it would be a big deal. That was part of the code that I never necessarily agreed with, as evidenced by his like lovers across the years.
Yeah, like I guess he didn't agree with it, but he obeyed it.
He still obeyed it. Yeah.
I don't think that Obi-Wan will see. Well, maybe he might see him, but he's not. I don't think he's gonna fight Maul this season.
Yeah, there's just a little bit too much, and that's another thing. Bringing back Maul, like Filoni brings back characters, and it hasn't been a enormous flaw yet. Maul went on a little bit too long to bring him back in the Clone Wars, and then bring him back again in Rebels.
Yeah, but for the end, it was all right.
It was all right, and
to bring it to a close, I like the ending. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
And for it to be that arc, you know.
And I think he probably would have done it potentially on Mandalore had they allowed him to finish the series.
Yeah.
When he was supposed to.
I don't know. I think it's also I think it's really cool that it happens there when Obi-Wan's protecting.
Yeah.
You know, because it.
Oh man, and that is somewhat how it happened in the original canon as well, other than Lars shooting him in the head instead.
Because he did come back.
In the original canon,
I actually like it better.
I like it a lot better I like it a lot better with Obi-Wan. Doing it instead of Obi-Wan having been essentially beaten by Maul, and then have Owen Lars just blast him in the head. Which is like...
Owen Lars probably would have let Obi-Wan die, honestly.
Yeah, he only did it to save Luke, I'm sure.
But yeah...
But that was part of the reason why Owen Lars hated Obi-Wan so much, was because in his eyes he kind of brought this evil to them.
I think we'll see some of that in the Kenobi series, just probably through, like, gang violence.
Yeah, gang violence.
Or maybe even Maul's gang violence, because we see that he's around in Solo, which is I think that I could live with Maul being alive through Clone Wars and Rebels, but now bringing him into Solo That is
Well,
maybe
see,
where it crosses the line.
it starts
because,
to...
especially because it's like, I get that he was around then, but we don't need
But it's not even quite right, because Maul
he would have lost
Maul
his
made a
empire
deal
by then.
with the Black Sun, not the Crimson Dawn. And so for him to be in charge of the Crimson Dawn, that means
he did a whole
yeah,
thing
he did a
again.
whole other
Oh my
separate
God.
thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if maybe the Black Sun became the Crimson Dawn. Maybe they merged. I'm not entirely sure about that.
Yeah.
But all I know is that the people he enlisted were the Black Sun, not the Crimson Dawn. And I'm pretty sure those two are actually rivals.
Mm.
Maybe they became the same thing. Maybe they merged. I'm not sure. But it's a
so
separate
convoluted.
Crimson... It's
I
a
know.
separate entity. Maybe he made it the Crimson Dawn because he's Crimson. I don't know. But, like,
This
let
is
me know in the
why,
comments if you
again,
know.
Give Filoni Kathleen Kennedy's job, and then you have a guy, a
Who
Kevin
knows
Feige,
where everything
who knows
is.
where everything is,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, you don't just have
Because that
these crazy
means...
people running around being, well, Maul's here now with the Crimson Dawn.
That means after Mandalore, he goes...
And gets another Maul.
Either turns the Black Sun into the Crimson Dawn, or goes and now gets the Crimson Dawn, reigns that for a while, and then somehow ends up on Malachor or whatever that Sith holocron place was.
Yeah.
And so, like,
So
now there's just more gray area. If he wasn't in Solo, they could explain in this final season of Clone Wars why he went to Malachor, how he got to Malachor. But now there's just more gray area that somebody's probably going to cover more of at some point, and people are getting kind of
animated series between Solo
Maul.
and A New Hope or and Rebels.
And it's just kind of like, I like Darth Maul, but you're overdoing it, and he doesn't even have particularly cool robot legs anymore.
He's just
a guy.
Yeah.
And like, what I liked when he got normal legs again,
He never wore pants.
sort of. I like that
that
because
was
you
funny.
could see them, but he was short again. Because
Oh,
he was when he had his big legs,
yeah.
he was as tall as Savage,
Mhm.
and then he was short again.
I like that. Yeah.
And I like that, but then in Rebels he seems all tall again.
Well, just because he's always near Ezra,
I guess so.
and even Ahsoka's not very tall, and
I think she got pretty tall. She's got big spiky things.
yeah, but that's not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. And then we never see Kanan, like stood next to any
The
anyone
entire
of measure,
crew
you
of
know?
the Ghost is just tiny
'Cause-
people.
Well, yeah, because Ezra is a kid. Sabine and Hera never struck me as very tall, and so Kanan looking taller than them isn't a huge
That's true.
feat.
I don't know. I always just in Phantom Menace, Maul was like this short, quiet stunt dude.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
and I always really
And I-
respected that.
yeah,
And then
I
when
like
they
that
brought
too.
him back in Clone Wars, I never really liked the angle they did where he's this
That
you
was
know?
in Rebels, to be fair.
Yeah, but still,
But yeah,
he still kind
he
of
was
had
still
that
nuts.
demeanor button where he was
Yeah.
like, I am the Sith Lord.
I eat slugs.
I eat spiders and blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah. You've brought me food. I will eat my own brother. You know, he's always kind of murmuring and
Yeah.
like he talks a lot.
Turned into Gollum.
Yeah, he talks a lot and he's kind of this like proper.
Which is
I
not.
am a Sith Lord. You know, like and that wasn't
Which is not
really
what he
the
was.
vibe that I
Which-
got from him
I just had
originally.
an idea, yeah. But just kind of before we switch to the topic, is that
Like he does talk. In
he does
Phantom
talk,
Menace,
and he is shorter. I think maybe to the defense of it, just that Liam Neeson is huge,
but that's true.
so that might add to it.
Yeah,
I don't know how tall Ewan McGregor is, not Liam Neeson tall, but I
yeah.
don't know if he's Ray Park short.
Yeah,
So-
I always just appreciated that
That
he was
a
like
small
he
dude.
was small and quick.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and so in the other ones when he gets like kind of all tall and then like when he was shorter again, I really liked
Yeah,
it.
that's good.
But his face was always a little too long for me.
Yeah,
His
and
face
that's
needed to
also
be a little bit
that's also
rounder, and it's kind of
the,
just the style,
the
and
yeah.
you know, but
And he also was like starving
emaciated.
for-
Yeah,
for
so I
however
understand
long.
it. I understand it, but you know,
And
I
it's
just
also,
I
you
like
want-
the compact
Yeah.
ninja kind of style.
Yeah.
Is all
You
I'm
also
saying.
gotta wonder how long he was on Malachor.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
You
did
know?
he...
Was
like,
he in a pit
it
for
seemed-
another 10
It
years?
seems like he was there for a long time. Like, he's in, like, just these dirty clothes down in this, like,
Well,
other hole.
yeah, I
He's
feel-
just the Lord of the Holes. Darth Maul, Lord of the Holes.
Oh my. And so, yeah, I don't know. Me
Because now he has to go amass another crime empire.
lose it and go in another hole.
Well, because depending on how things go on Mandalore.
Well, okay, and so this is what I was gonna say: is that the last time we saw Maul, Sidious killed Savage and
was
took him
torturing
back. So he
But
says,
he didn't
"I've got
necessarily.
something for you to do."
He didn't necessarily leave Mandalore, though. That's what we like.
No, I'm just saying that
but
he's got
he took him under
instruction
his control.
from Sidious.
Yeah. Which again is kind of weird because Sidious is the one who's always getting mad at people about the rule of two.
Exactly. So that's
and so
kind of
now is
weird.
Maul his assassin because that's how Dooku got around it
Yeah.
with
Because that's-
Ventress, and then as soon as he like killed Ventress, he was like, "I need a new assassin,"
Yeah.
and then decided to actually overthrow Sidious with his
Yeah.
own apprentice. It's like, why didn't you just do this with Ventress?
Yeah.
Like he clearly just very much regretted what he did.
Yeah, because that's interesting actually. Because Sidious knows Maul is alive, but then
But still
gets
continues to
Anakin-
have Dooku and then exchanged for Anakin there.
Yeah, because he did still
'Cause
have
that's-
Dooku up
'cause
until then,
it's-
and then immediately got Anakin.
It's interesting. It's interesting there because that's
think-
why he wanted him to kill Dooku.
Yeah.
Was to make room for his new apprentice. It was partially to unleash the dark side in him, but I think it was mostly because he's so obsessed
It's a
with the rule
win-win.
of two that he's like, well, he lost anyways, and I want you, so
Plus, he's got no hands now.
kill him.
You've got one more hand than he does.
Well, that's another thing that I think is interesting
What
in
if
the
someone had
in the
double
universe.
robot
Yeah,
arms?
is because that doesn't seem to be a very big issue. Loss of limb,
No.
because they have such intricate prosthetics.
I don't remember if this
It
was.
wouldn't have been a big deal.
I think this was. It was one of Star Wars Theories' videos. I don't remember if it was one of his fan fictions or some sort of EU. I think it was a fan fiction that he made up where he cut off Dooku's head and then Dooku got like Darth Maul's spider legs attached to his head in a jar.
Oh
and, like,
my.
went-
that
and, like-
might be EU actually.
I don't
that
know.
sounds a little bit familiar.
And so I think it was a fan fiction though. And so then he like, I don't want to spoil it too much, but he like busted into the Jedi Council room and was like, and they were all like, "Whoa!"
What the hell?
And then he was like, "Wait! He's the Sith Lord." Because Sidious betrayed him, so then he busted in there and just
okay.
told them.
Then it was a fan fiction. Yeah.
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 And so he just busted in and just tattletaled on Sidious.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I think they just threw him in jail.
Just ahead.
Yeah, in the Jedi jail.
Yeah. But anyways, this next season is gonna be, or this season happening. This current season is there's a lot of interesting stuff that's gonna be happening because we're gonna be seeing Order 66 from I think
someone else's
primarily Ahsoka's perspective.
Ahsoka and Rex.
Ahsoka and Rex, and so I bet Rex is gonna have to kill every single one in the Bad Batch,
That would be awesome.
unless he convinces them to cut their things out and they die. And it's just him and his crew against everyone. But I'd be willing to bet that Rex is gonna have to single-handedly kill every single member of the Bad Batch because they already have each other kind of clashing heads here.
It's true.
And so I bet that it's gonna all of a sudden be good soldiers follow orders,
Yeah.
and he's gonna have to him and Ahsoka probably because he's gonna be helping
I've got
her,
an
and
even
then they're
better
gonna
one.
like part ways.
I just thought of an even better one.
Okay, what's that?
Because we don't know what happened to Cody.
Oh, yeah. Because
So what if
Obi-Wan
Rex
didn't kill
has
him?
No. What if Rex has to kill Cody?
Oh, but Cody's on Utapau. Utapau? Is that right?
I think so.
And so,
But he probably might not have stayed there.
yeah, so maybe they called him because there was disturbances on Mandalore, because obviously Ahsoka got away, obviously Rex got away. And I'd like, just judging by some of the dialogue in the episode where Rex comes back in Rebels, it kind of,
They're back for revenge.
yeah, and like the way that they kind of talk about
It's
it,
just
it sounds
trauma.
like, it almost sounds like Rex and them may have remained undercover sort of in the Empire's employment
yeah.
for a while, and then were discharged.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of crazy.
It is
like
kinda crazy.
but it's probably the safest place for Rex to
Yeah,
be.
it would be, and
I bet Ahsoka will tell them that.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is that they will be kind of safe if they're with Ahsoka, because she's not. Like, I think some of the clones will probably try to kill her, but
Well, she's got lightsabers.
Exactly. But the thing is, there's no other Jedi with them, so it won't be as big of a deal.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure that it's at 30 minutes, so we should probably got to get going soon. But yeah, just I'm sure there were more things to say, but we'll have maybe another
we'll do
episode
another one
after
next week,
after everything's wrapped up, maybe even.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll just
or if
have
there's something that we can really speculate, we might
Yeah.
have a theory episode or something.
Yeah, but I think we've got some
theories.
Yeah. But I think we've got some solid theories going forward that maybe Echo will tell Rex the rest of the information that he needs to know, and then him and maybe the Bad Batch will cut theirs out as well. I doubt it though,
I don't think so.
because
or maybe theirs are
messed up too. I could see that being a thing where everything's going wrong and those guys just kind of are kind of clueless like Rex is.
The other thing is they might just be gone after this next episode, because they're not 501st.
That's true.
So we just might not have to deal with them anymore.
Yeah, it just seems like it feels like everything in this last season should be things that has to be
Tying
things that Filoni really, really wanted to do.
I really hope that they do that bounty hunter exchange.
Yeah,
between Boba and Bane.
I don't think there's time though.
They have to do it. Just throw it in there.
There's a deleted scene where Cad Bane and Boba Fett face off.
Yeah.
And it's really good. Like, look it up.
I hope they include it.
Yeah, because it's really good. I don't know if they have time to
think about it though, is that Bane has been such a menace throughout the Clone Wars, you know?
Yeah.
And so to wrap up his life,
that would be really good. I don't know if there'll be time for it.
I hope so.
I hope there is as well. I hope they do it as well, but
yeah.
I don't think that they will. Honestly, I don't think there's time. But like I was saying, just that as kind of a closing
what
thoughts
are your
on
remarks?
on my part is just that this has got to be like everything we see will be stuff that Filoni really wanted to do, and tying up loose ends, and that's why I still kind of have hope with the whole Echo thing, because it feels like it's being handled well, and I feel like
Filoni's never given us any reason not to trust him.
Yeah, and I feel like if Filoni is doing that, it's either because it was something he had planned, or it's setting up something that he had planned, right?
Yeah.
And so everything you see this season will be important, and that's why I think that the Bad Batch are going to play some sort of a role, because that has to have been a team or an idea that Filoni really wanted. Otherwise, he wouldn't have introduced these new characters for this last season.
That's true.
So I think they're going to do something, whether that something is just sort of playing the role of an enemy that they have to deal with during Order 66.
Yeah.
But
face to so they're not just
fighting random clones, and it makes it more personal, right? Exactly. Because we're learning to like these guys
or dislike
these guys throughout this thing, or they'll be sort of on their team and go down protecting them as they start to escape Order 66. So I think that everything that we see will play a very vital role in whatever arcs they do this season. Yeah. Did you have any closing remarks? No? Yeah.
I'm good.
That's probably a pretty good place to end it, though. Shorter podcast this.
Tell us if you like shorter podcasts more.
Yeah, and we're hopefully, I don't know, it looks like it, I don't know if it's too good to be true, but we're exploring options for getting the audio version up. So maybe you'll be listening to this without looking at us.
Just like we said on the
second one. And so we'll see. We might have a good option to be able to do that. And if that is something that, if you would watch it more, let us know. Or listen to it more, I guess. If it would get you listening to the podcast, then it's definitely something that we'll we'll do, regardless of if we have to, shell in a little bit of money for that. But anyways, let us know your Clone Wars speculation. Let us know because when this comes out, the 3rd episode will be out. And so let us know if any of our predictions were right. Be like, hey, you guys totally called it. Because, I'll probably be saying that. I'll comment on our video.
We were right.
We were right.
Or wrong.
Or wrong. Maybe
Probably
we'll put it in the
won't comment
description or something.
If we were wrong.
Yeah. But anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Maybe we'll make a proper speculation.
Goodbye.
Bye.